Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, we'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 4 of the Doctor Who spin-off series, Class, co-owner of a Lonely Heart. And damned if this episode wasn't all kinds of intense. Everything from April being confronted with her deadbeat father in more ways than one, and the actor's portrayal. I mean, he managed to come across as sympathetic, even with what we've known has happened to their family, all at his hands, trying to drive them off a freeway and kill them, and he's been in jail. It's like, I don't know, there's something about the actor's portrayal that really made me feel for him, especially in the sort of transitioning period that April herself was going through, being attached by the heart to the Shadowkin King, which is all kinds of insane. She's definitely going through mood swings and being very heavily influenced by his warrior nature and everything like that. And meanwhile, are we calling back over to the Shadowkin homeworld, where we're seeing that he's trying to figure out a way to anchor her heart into his chest, remove it for all time from her, leave her an empty husk left behind, and or seek it out, basically come back to Earth. The Doctor closed off that world, scrambled it so the Shadowkin wouldn't be able to know where to come back to, and they've successfully, by the end of this episode, figured out where exactly Earth is. They've pinpointed the location, and they want to come and just reap genocide, and all the while the Shadowkin King wants that heart. And so it's pretty insane how intertwined they are. I mean, you have this very sort of romantic, playing out of the dynamic going on between April and Ram, which, as of the last episode, I wasn't too thrilled with, but I handled it much better in this episode. I thought it was actually much more, heartwarming, I guess you could say. The support between these two characters, Ram knowing, after having experienced all kinds of hell, the whole group has, but I mean, even much more personally affected was he because his girlfriend was murdered in front of him. And this is something that, it begs the question, what necessarily are his motivations? Is it simply an attraction for April and wanting to comfort her? Could there be some deeper thing where, like, he wants revenge on the Shadowkin King, the guy who took his girlfriend's life? Could it be that he has less than, honorable sort of motivations? That begs the question in my mind, in any case, if in fact he followed April not so much because he cares for her, which I think he does, but maybe he wants, to go mano a mano, one-on-one with the Shadowkin King and take out his vengeance for what, loss he suffered and everything like that. Not only, of course, was it his girlfriend, but it was also his leg. And again, we're seeing the supportive relationship between he and his father, which I just love to pieces. I absolutely love that familial dynamic between them. And it's one of the things definitely that keeps me watching this series, seeing these characters not only interacting with each other, as I've touched upon before in previous episode discussion videos, but also, dealing with each other, dealing with their parents, dealing with their families. And we have much more of an emphasis on that with April's mother, who is scared out of her mind about Daddy Dearest coming a-calling when he just got out of prison and all this stuff. They have a restraining order or a court order, something along those lines that basically dictates, he can't be in communication with them outside of maybe sending a letter and everything. And of course, April has not been reciprocative to that. She wants nothing to do with them, understandably so. And the mother is just going out of her mind, thinking like he's in town, he's around. I don't want him messing with my daughter. And then, of course, the mother sort of rolls in on Ram and April. Thankfully, the deed had already been done. But, all the while that was going on, did we see, because of that heart connectivity with the Shadowkin King, apparently he can't get it up. He needs some Shadowkin Viagra or something like that. Oh, it happens to every man, even the leader of the Shadowkin. But like basically that whole aspect of, because of that connectivity, April just goes ballistic. She summons those scimitars, dual scimitars, to try to behead her father in their first encounter. And then this happens again, and she's very nearly brought to the brink because of how strengthened that connection is. Ram just barely showing up in time to try to talk her down off of it. And of course they do that very manipulative, dramatic thing where you see her screaming in slow motion, and those blades are, basically corresponding down to where the father is on the ground, but we see that she didn't actually do much more than, the earlier scene where she had sliced his arm, his shoulder, whatever it was. And then, of course, what happens with her mother, it just blew my ever-loving mind. My breath caught in my chest. I was like, whoa, no, oh my God. Is this because of the Shadowkin's influence over her? Is she killing her mother? And she's like reached into her chest or something like that. And lo and behold, it was something to do with this like healing regeneration ability, I think. Of course, we leave off with a cliffhanger. There's still threads that are going to be, playing into the next episode and everything like that, where we leave off. But you see her mother on the ground, and she's just barely starting to be able to move her legs again. And I'm wondering, did April heal her? But as a sort of, sacrifice to doing that, she solidified their position in space and time so that the Shadowkin King knows exactly where to go to. And April ain't having that. I mean, she's full-on warrior mode. She's full-on badass mode. She's adorable already as it is, but then she's suddenly threatening and ominous and fierce, and she looks like somebody you do not want to trifle with. And she rips open that space-time corridor, that bunghole in space, and boom, she's going to the Shadowkin planet. She's going to confront that mother trucker in person. And of course, Ram very quickly follows after her, which again plays into that questioning, what are his motivations? Is it about, being there for April? Is there some level of wanting vengeance? I don't exactly know. But it was intense. This episode was all shades of intense. And even the sort of beeline, which is going to be playing into the next episode with these flower petals that are consuming squirrels and birds. And soon they're going to, if not consume humanity, eat humanity alive, they're going to suffocate it and quell it and all the stuff. And of course, Quill has been approached by the new head teacher, the new headmaster, who was suspicious from right off the bat with everything she knows. And she's working for the governors, this mysterious, enigmatic, overseer group who sent the robot after Quill and everything in one of the previous episodes. And so it's like, what the hell is going on with all of that? Who are the governors? Are they an alien race? Or are they somebody, sort of on a unit level on Earth that are just trying to keep an eye out for alien incursions and trying to make deals, in back alleys with alien cultures and things like that? What exactly is it that is going on? I have to assume there's more to it than just another alien culture sending this headmistress in and running this school. I have to assume it's got to be Earth-based on some level, right? So like, I don't know. And then the whole thing with Matthias really having a problem with, how much or how little, I guess you could say, Charlie has been telling him about the box full of souls and everything and how it can become a weapon. And I like that they explained exactly how that might work. The idea of the energy, the souls that are contained within, could consume the souls of the living of a planet, wipe out an entire planet, and or if a hero was strong enough. Charlie basically discusses it as though he doesn't think he would be that hero. But I think there is some hope. As he says when he confronts Matthias, there is a level of hope in my people that there would be a hero that could, basically bring everyone back to life in a manner of speaking. They would have to erupt out of that box and consume the souls of an entire planet, but then re-inhabit the lifeless husks that would be left behind. And that is definitely all kinds of scary, all kinds of ominous, and you can see why Matthias would be so, sort of put off kilter by that. Especially with Charlie picking and choosing his words, what he chooses to reveal, how much of that he wants to reveal at a given time. And it's easy to see how Tanya, too, would kind of take issue not only with that, but with his being very domineering to Quill. Whether she was a warrior woman or not, they're all in the same boat now. They're all allies, whether they want to be or not. And it's kind of like there should be an emphasis on camaraderie rather than, treating her like a slave. And so, I absolutely love the characterization in this series, and it keeps me with bated breath, waiting for every next episode to see what exactly is going to be turning around in the story, and especially now, man, with such an intense episode as this was, and a cliffhanger with all these beeline and mainline elements carrying over into the next. man, it's a week wait that I can't wait to get past. So, yeah, otherwise it'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.